Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for Journaling on a Budget Starting from Scratch. Today we are going to make some tea cards and some little tri-tucks journaling cards to put in our different pockets and places in our journals. So the first thing is a tea card. And what is a tea card? I've seen these, I think it was Tracy Fox was the first person I saw to show these. And she actually had real tea cards that came, I guess, in boxes of tea a long time ago. And this is what they looked like. They had a picture on the front with an edging around them. And then on the back, it had all the information about like what type of flower this was. And, or that type of thing, whatever was on the front, there was a description on the back. But I just thought they were so cute, and she was putting them into journals. And of course, it was something I'd never seen and I couldn't get here. Well, I could probably go online and buy them, but that would be too expensive. So I decided to make my own. And so I've been making these for a long time, but I thought we'd make some to put in this journal, and I'd show you how I do it. So the first thing that you do is you want to get your picture the right size. And so what I've done is, in figuring out the size of my picture, I do at 2.5 inches by 1.25 inches. And what I do in order to make it a whole lot easier for myself, because I make a lot of them at a time, I usually make them, I don't know why, in sets of 3 or 4, and to put together. And then I usually make quite a few at one time. So what I do is, if you take and you cut, just draw yourself a rectangle, 2.5 inches by 1.25 inches. Then you'll be able to make yourself a window that you can use to draw around. And then I'm just going to take my knife, line up my ruler right on that line. I need a little bit more. And then use my knife to cut out the center. I'm going to extend my lines a little bit because I can't see where to start and stop, and I really don't want to overlap. So start there, stop there. Just make it easier for me to know where to start and where to stop. Okay, now line it up on the line. And then just cut. So we're going to cut a window in this piece of cardboard. And this was just a piece of cardboard packaging that I got. It's a little heavier than like a cereal box. I'm using my book as like a cutting board so that I don't cut through onto my table. I'm just going to line up on this line. I think I stopped. I'll just go all the way around and get this cut out. I love templates because a template allows you to do something it's just easier, and especially if you're going to do something over and over. With the tea cards, I really love making them. And so that is why I made a template for my originals way back when I was doing them, because it's just one of those things where it's so much easier. And just, it just, when crafting is a little bit easier, it's a little more enjoyable. But, you don't have to have any kind of a big expensive thing to help you do it. You can just make your own. So there we go. I'm just going to, I don't really want to rip the corners because I want them to be kind of, nice and straight. So there we go. Now this is going to be the size of our picture to put on our background. So that's the size of your picture. Now the background really doesn't make that much of a difference. I do them 2 3/4 by 1.5, but if you don't have to do it that way, you can just trim around it. But then what you do is you just find some, you just find a picture. This is just a picture of some leaves, and you just hold your template right on there, draw around it, and then cut it out if you haven't misplaced your scissors. Here we go. And it doesn't have to be perfectly exact. There we go. I wanted to cut off, here too. I want to cut off the black pen mark. But, so the thing that you can do is with this, you can just go through a book. And of course, I've pulled all of the pictures out of here already. But you just take your template, and as you're going through a book, you say, I think that I would like that. See, and actually that doesn't look too bad. Even though in the book it looks kind of but and then you just keep going until you have however many you want, or you cut them out one at a time, and then you just cut them out. And once you get them cut out, then you're just going to back them on a piece of paper. Now you can do it on any kind of paper that you want, just regular. I'm going to do it on here. This is what I've done my others on. But you can do it on just regular copy paper, on whatever paper that you have. And now I need to, here it is. I was going to say I need to find the one that we cut. So we're just going to take it. We're just going to put it right on here like this. And then we're just going to cut around it. Like I said, if you want to just cut a bunch of backing pieces, you can do that. Sometimes I'll do that if you have a what do you call it? If you have a cutter of some kind, you can just use it to, just over and over and over, just slice up a bunch of little tiny rectangles. But if you don't, just put your T card on there, just like that. Then I'm going to cut it just a little bit big so that I can pick it up and look at it when I cut it. But so we've got it like that, and then I'm just going to try and cut, just leaving a little edge, a little border, and there we go. Now we have another T card. So this is the way that you make your T cards, and then you can make them up. Let's see how close I am. It's a little smaller than the others. I don't have quite as much of a bit around the edge. But that's how you make T cards, and they're just so cute, and they're great to tuck in here and there. And I'm going to put this someplace so that it will dry nice and flat. And these 4 we're going to actually put in our book. And then to make a try card, and this is something that I learned from Sonia Steptoe, and I just fell in love with them, and they're kind of like one of my new favorite things. And what it is you take 3 pictures and you line them up the way that you would maybe stick them in a pocket. Like if you're going to put them in a pocket like this, then once you get them lined up the way that you think you want to put them in the pocket so that they'll look nice, then you just glue them together. Once you get them glued together, you glue them on one solid piece of paper like this. And once your glue is dry, you cut them out. Now I put the glue on these, and then I put it in a nice heavy book to let them dry so that they would dry nice and flat. And like I said, these are like my new favorite journaling tuck because they're just so cute. And how many times when we're filling up our pockets do we try and arrange things so they look cute in there, and then as you close and open the book, they get all they just kind of like go together and that type of thing, or they kind of slip out if they're small, or slip way down into the pocket if they're small. And so this way you have a much bigger writing space, and they're going to stay just how you want them to look. So there we go. Now we have this really cute thing to tuck in our pocket, and we have a much larger writing space than 3 little tiny writing spaces on the back. So we have one that's a little bigger, and we have some that are a little smaller. And now we're going to put them in our book. Now I have some vellum that I got when I picked up my things for this series. I got it like a pack of cards here. And so I'm going to use some of this to make some pockets to put these into. And I thought what I would do is I thought that I would make a pocket on the bottom and then another pocket at the top. So one pocket for these, and they're going to go in here. So I probably want them maybe about this tall. I'm just going to fold it right about there. Maybe. I'm trying to think if I want to just leave that to stick up in the back. We're going to put this one here. This is going to fit in here. So maybe we'll leave that there. We can even tuck in behind it like that with something. I don't know about the holes. I'm trying to think what I think of those, but I think I'm going to leave them there because we might want to maybe attach something to them. But I think I'm going to cut it off a little bit, like right. I'm going to cut it off just above them. I don't want as much sticking up over the top. And hopefully I can get this straight. Not too bad. I'm not real good at this. That's much better. Alrighty, and so I'm going to glue that in there. I'm going to need to take a little bit off the edge and take it off the inside edge, so if it's not real straight, it won't be very noticeable. Just a little trick. So it's going to come to the edge. That still goes over just a little bit too far, so I'm going to take off just a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the pocket. And it is going to, on vellum, it's going to show. So I'm going to put some on each side. And if it gets to the point where if we don't like the way that it looks, we can always put a little piece of ribbon or something there. And what I'm going to do before I stick it down is I'm just going to kind of smooth it down a little bit so that I don't have any great big dark spots. And maybe that will help it, kind of blend in a little bit when you look at it. So there we go. And we won't know exactly what it's going to look like until it's dry. Kind of pulling to the outside so that I don't squish it all towards the middle. So there's our pocket. And that's going to fit in there nicely. So we're going to glue that one right on there. We can do it right, yeah, we'll just do it right now. Yep, we're gonna. And we're going to make it a pocket too. We may not use it as a pocket, but it will be there if we want to use it as a pocket. And then we won't have as much glue all over the whole back of it, you know, putting glue all over it, since it's vellum and it is going to be kind of see-through. So I'm going to line it up with this edge over here, leaving a little bit. I want a little bit of the tear look at the bottom. Push the glue towards the outside. Just give that a nice press. Now, especially being vellum, which, you know, might be a little bit not wanting to stick, this would be another good one. Stick a plastic bag on top of it when you're all done. Stick it under a heavy book and let that really dry really good before you actually use it. Okay, so we're going to put this one in here, and we might want to do something on the front of this pocket. We might want to do something with those holes. We'll figure that out at a later date after it's all dry and after we get, you know, the other pages done. I did stick our little scrapbook into this pocket in the back. Okay, so now we're going to look at, I wanted to do this pocket this way, because this way it won't fit across the whole paper, and I wanted it to fit all the way across, so I'm going to do it this way. And let's see here. Okay, I'm going to cut it right about here. So I'm going to put a fold in it right there. Yep, we're going to cut it. I was trying to think maybe I wanted to leave that on there, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it. I have another thought with these holes. If I put this on here, I'm going to need to cut it down a little bit, but I'm kind of wondering whether I want these holes to stick over the edge, and you know, we could put some ribbon or something in them. And I think I want to try it. If we don't like it later, we just hold the page up and cut the edge off, because I think that would really be kind of cute to have those there. So this is going to be our pocket. Our pocket is, we don't want it right on top of this one in case we want to tuck something in there. And we do want it to be, you know, a little bit from the top so that we can put these things in and out. So I think what we'll do is we'll take some off the bottom. Okay, let's fold the top over right to, grab my book here. I'm going to fold it over so it comes, I want this side on top because that's where there's more color there. I want to fold it over right to the hole so that I'm not covering the hole, because I don't have a hole punch. But if I had a hole punch, I think that I would cover that with the vellum and then just punch a hole in the second one. That would make it even sturdier. Okay, so if we do that as the top of the pocket, oops, that's the bottom of the pocket. Yep, I think that's going to be about right to do it this way also. Just right to the hole. And I think I like it just like that. Those are going to go in there, except I want to round these corners. Now, exactly how do I want to round them? is the question. I'm being very picky because there's a little point there that I don't want there. There. Okay, so now what is it going to look like? It's going to look like this. And I like that. And then our little T cards are going to go in there like that. I like it. And I'm not gonna worry about these. Because it's vellum, I don't want to put the glue on them. I folded them over so that it would be stronger, so that it wouldn't split. You know, this has got to come up here. And like I said, if we decide we don't like those holes later, we just get rid of them. Whenever you're making anything, if you decide you don't like something, you can either get rid of it, cover it up, take the page out. There's always a fix for it if you've done something and you think later on, I don't like it and I don't want it there. So there we go. We're going to put that there. There. And there. I'm going to put it down so I can give it a good press. Now again, when it comes to decorating this, maybe later I might want to put a little bit of lace across here or something like that. You know, maybe hang something off here. But at this point in time, we have the base done. And then you can always, the decorating is the hardest part for me. So it takes me a while to figure out exactly what I want to do as far as, you know, if I'm going to put anything extra. So I will look at that at a later date, but we have the whole base done. And so here we go. I like this one with the purple flowers in the front because the purple flowers are on this side. And then I like to put one with the red, then one that's all yellow, and then the other one that's red and yellow. That's how I like to put those together. And they're going to just go in there. Just like that. Now, if I wanted to, I could glue these together like the other side, or like I did down here, like the little tri-card. But on these, I don't want to because they're T cards. I want them to all be separate. But that is the whole point of, I like the way that that looks. And that's the point of when we make these, why we glue them together, because then they're going to stay just like that. And so there we go. That is that page in the journal. Now there's really nothing to look at next to it, so I didn't have to put it back in there to show you, but that is what that page is going to look like. And like I said, we might come back in, we might, you know, put something on the pockets, we might put maybe some ribbon or something, but we will do that at a later date. When we finish up the book, we'll do all the finishing touches. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you like these little T cards and the little tri card, because both of these are some of my favorites. So, you know, you'll find that you just wind up doing something over and over, and this is my new one. This was my last one. So, and don't forget, just make yourself a little template so you can literally just put it in a book and say, yep, that picture, and you'd be surprised when you're looking at something and you think, well, you know, there is nothing on there that I would want. And then when you cover it up, you think, oh, I actually kind of like the way that that looks. Now, granted, not that one really, but, you know, but you just, and then it's just so easy. Draw around it, cut around it, and you are good to go. So Thanks again for stopping by. I really do appreciate you, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.